Cool. And we are live. Hey, what's up, Christina?
Hello. Not a lot going on. It's Monday. I guess there's a ton going on, really.
Yeah. I mean, if you're Garfield, if you know who Garfield is, he hates Mondays. He's probably eating lasagna or sleeping in lasagna. I used to have a bunch of those comics like in school. Do they have it in the States? Scholastic?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. So it was always like really fun, like in elementary school, you'd be like, oh, okay, the new Garfield's out, or some other books and stuff. So, anyways, oh, the crazy
Book
things
fair.
that, yeah, you know,
Except I never had money for the book fair, but it was always fun to go browse.
yeah, cool. All right, so we are back with the dev stream. Today we are doing gratitude stream, so that's shout outs to thank all our awesome contributors from the community that got some PRs merged in the past week in the Forem codebase. Forem is the software that powers dev. I'll just give a quick intro to myself, and then Christina will give an intro to herself, and then we're going to get straight to it. My name is Nick Taylor. I'm senior software engineer here at Forem, and I don't need to say it's the software that powers dev because I already said that. Over to you, Christina.
Yep. I'm Christina Gorton. I'm the open source community manager at Dev or Forum,
All right.
I guess. We're always a mix here.
Yeah. I still say like when I speak to folks because not everybody's aware of Forum still. I'm always like, and I work at Forum/dev, and
Yeah.
so then they're like, oh, okay, and then I explain, and then they're like, oh, okay, makes sense. All right, cool. Let's get to it. Christina published a post for Hacktoberfest week 5. It's pretty wild. We're in the last week of Hacktoberfest, so good luck to everybody, I guess.
Yeah.
She's, did you want to share that link in the chat? I know you've already
Mm-hmm.
posted it on Dev, but just in case folks
Yep.
aren't following you, they might not see it. Cool. All right, so we're just gonna go through the post here. Has a list of all the contributors from the past week. And once again, thanks so much for everybody contributing to the code base. It's super helpful, and it's just really fun meeting folks like Sam and Takuma, and I see Link to 20, aka Andrew Bones, back on the list this week, as well as Rafi, I believe.
Yep.
So thanks so much for all that. Okay, so we'll get started. Did you want to go first, Christina? And hopefully I don't botch the list by skipping some this week and then coming back. We'll see how it goes.
Sure. Takuma was the first one. I could not find the last name, but there is a last name, but the PR was a bug fix. So there's when you have your reading list counter, like you have a big list of stuff that you've saved and you want to read. It wasn't being updated correctly, if I remember, because of caching. And so this was a fix for that. And then I think Nick's going to go into it a little bit here so we can see it.
Yeah. So here's the ticket. If anybody, well, all these pull requests are linked in the gratitude post that Christina posted in the chat. So you can definitely
Mm-hmm.
check that out yourselves. From what I remember, yeah. So there's caching on the back end, and I think we have some keys in the objects that get returned that were like prefaced by cache underscore, and then I think there might have been some rework of that, but I'm just taking a peek in here. Okay, it seems to be okay. It's not what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of something that was on the client side. So this is really it's just not just, it's a backend fix to handle all the caching issues here. So there's a last reacted at maybe. Okay, I'm guessing because I'm still ramping up on Ruby. Well, this is Rails stuff or active record. I think here where it's talking about the user.touch, that means that the user, uh, sorry, the reaction was altered at a given date, and I think that's what invalidates the cache, which allows it to refresh potentially. If somebody in the chat knows if I'm in the right or wrong, please let us know. But I'm pretty sure that's what it is, because if I zoom in here, you can see in app/models/user.rb we have we have keys for the cache, so the cache keys are typically strings, and we can see that the last reacted at was added as part of the key. So if that last reacted at date time changes, that will cause the cache to invalidate, I believe. That's what I think's going on. Cool. Well, thanks again for that, Takuma. Next up, we have Sam Markham, and
You
she.
have the last name. Now I can go back and add that.
Okay. Yeah, so this was a documentation fix. I think there was just some. I think there was it's either spelling or grammatical issues going on. Okay, yeah. Run-on sentence, story of my life in high school. So thank you for that. Cool. Okay, I think we have another documentation one here if you want to grab that, Christina.
Yep. So Simon Fish, this was documentation update for overriding mailer templates, and I'm not sure I got a chance to look at this one. So let's go ahead and
Yeah,
click into that one and see what it was.
cool.
Uh,
So
for
this is
emails.
I don't know if
Oh,
you've
it's
worked
added
with any of
complete
the.
documentation.
Yeah, I guess it wasn't there. I honestly haven't really done anything with anything in regards to email templating, but this is for stuff like if you're subscribed to things like tags or like with the top 7 weekly posts, you'll get emails, and I guess this is just explaining how that all works, and
Cool.
how to override them. Cool. All right, well, that's awesome. Thanks, Simon. All right, we got Rafi back for another week of contributions. Thanks so much, Rafi. So this one was adding file extensions to Git attributes. So for those who aren't aware, there's a file that you can add to your Git repository. Let me just open it up here. And it's just called .git attributes. I haven't seen it used for what Rafi fixed, but I'll go into what he did in a second. I've seen it for stuff where it actually even says it in the comments there. So like you can convert line feeds because like folks on Windows or Linux or Mac will end up having different line feed characters. So if folks are contributing from different platforms, having this set in the Git attributes fixes that. And there's other stuff that I wasn't aware of, which is what Rafi added here. So this is in regards to when you're doing differences in Git, the visualization of it. You can specify specific file type extensions for your project and say how they want to be diffed. So a .rb file, which is a Ruby file, you want to diff it using the Ruby style, which I guess Git might know out of the box. That I'm not sure, because Git must be aware of this because I don't see anything else in regards to this PR. Um, so they added a few here just to make sure that they diff with the right proper formatting, so it just makes it easier for folks doing reviews. So thanks so much for that, Rafi. Oh, he's got another one here. I'll do that one, and then you can move on to Tudor, who has a few as well.
Yeah.
This one was removing the hard-coded email. This is related to ongoing work with making Forem more generic in terms of communities, because for folks who might not be aware, dev.to is eventually became Forem, and to make it become reusable for other platforms, like for example, we released community.sneak.io last week. There's a new one out today called community.club. To be able to have those other communities use the software, we've had to genericize things, and one of them was hard-coded email, and I'm pretty sure, I haven't seen the files yet, but it probably says yo at dev.to, and that's probably been converted to where is it? Okay, there's a mod fac email. Okay, this is in chat. Uh, okay, yeah, you can see here on the left. I'll zoom in a bit more. So it's been changed. So I remember discussing this with the teams. I forget which team I was talking to about this, but yeah. So now the email comes in as a prop for those familiar with React or Preact, and it's no longer hard coded. So because otherwise, whoever owns the yo at dev.to account probably would have been getting a lot of emails. And yeah.
Probably
Oh, and there was
Michael
another one
or
here.
Michael.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and you can see here, so there's a test for it. So the chat component is passing in a mod fac email, which is a hard-coded one because it's just a test, but that's just to show that in action. Cool stuff. Thanks so much, Rafi.
All right,
Did you
next
want to go
up.
ahead with Tudor?
Yeah, we got 4 bug fixes here. So Tudor, Pavel, and the first one is avoid CSS word wrap in video player. I think there was some overriding with some CSS classes that were happening. Yes,
Okay.
the new CSS rule, it was overriding, and so they helped fix that so that it wouldn't do that. And
Cool, cool.
then,
All right, yeah, let me go to the other one. Okay,
mhm,
this was another CSS fix, I think.
I think so.
Maybe.
Well, it's the pre-tag, so preserve new lines and indentation and pre-tags from RSS import. So no,
Okay.
not CSS.
Okay, so it's because in the back end we were probably stripping these things, and uh, uh, yeah, because for those not familiar with the pre-tag, whatever you paste in there, that's all that spacing it gets applied in the markup, and it looks like the contents of the pre-tag coming from the back end were having all that stuff stripped before, so it looks like it was handling it for code blocks, but I guess we also need to treat it for text blocks coming in. Okay, yeah, it's related to some kind of markdown conversion here, so that makes sense. Okay, cool, cool. Um, oh yeah, and you got a few more there.
Yep, 2 more.
Yeah,
Okay, and so Nick and I were just talking about this. Docker tends to be a bit of a problem for people to set up, and so this was fixing RSpec unit testing when using Docker. So if you use Docker for your development when you're contributing to Forem.
yep. Okay, cool, cool. And let's go to the last one. I'm not positive, but I don't think I'm saying that much today or so I think I'm having a good non day.
Now that you said it, you'll say it a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so
Okay.
this one was a bug fix for a liquid tag on Spotify liquid tag, and if you have more context, you can go ahead there, Nick.
I don't have too much here, but it looks like just looking at the code, even though it's in Ruby, it looks like the URL wasn't being parsed properly. It looked like the full URL or the URL object parsed URI. It looks like an array, or maybe it's a split. Okay, yeah, it looks like this parse URI method probably gives you pieces of the URI and as an array, I guess, because it's looking for something at the index 0. So maybe it's the full URL minus the query string and stuff, something like
Mm-hmm.
that. But it was clearly affecting the liquid tag for Spotify when it was rendering. So
Okay.
that's my best guess.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, let's move on to Anks. We've done our best to try and get folks' names, but depending on your GitHub profile, folks don't always have their real name, which is totally fine. But if you're just wondering why we don't say your real name sometimes, that's why. So if you want us to let us know, let us know.
Yeah, we'll
Um,
update it.
yeah,
I do try to investigate a little, find people's like Twitter and stuff, but I can't always find everyone. So.
yeah, no, for sure, for sure. Okay, so this one from Anks, it's add aliases for mod round robin notifications plus email follower notifications to the user model. Okay, so round robin is just some strategy for picking something. So let's see. I guess I guess this maybe sends it to somebody who's the mod out of the pool of mods, perhaps. Not sure.
Oh, yeah.
And then this one, if they have an email present. Okay, no, the bottom part here that just looks like Rubocop, which is like prettier for Ruby. It's just
Hmm.
formatting there. So I think the thing here was maybe the round robin was to avoid perhaps the same moderator getting a lot of the messages. I'm not really sure. I'm guessing at this point, folks, but I think it sounded good. So all
These
right.
PRs are here for anyone to take a look at if you want to figure it out.
Yeah.
Our next one,
Cool. Cool.
again, I couldn't find a name. I did do some investigating, but couldn't find a name. So Prime Noodles, and this is a bug fix for the Mod Center again. So clicking on article title opens in a new tab.
Yeah, and yeah, so this was fixing an issue I believe when the mod section was created, you couldn't right click to open a link like which is a typical web behavior of hyperlinks. So
Mm-hmm.
I believe that was what the major fix was here. I did some review here, but thank God I wrote something because half the time I don't remember what I reviewed like 2 weeks ago or a week ago. I'm getting old. Getting old. All right. Next one's from another frequent contributor in definitely during Hacktoberfest for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Link to 20, also known as Andrew Bone. This one was working on adding a Preact hook for keyboard shortcuts. So for this one, we're trying to consolidate the usage of because you can there's a few places in the application where you can add well you could do it anywhere, but the things that exist already that I know for certain are if you're on the main page, well, if you're on any page with the search bar available, which I believe is almost every page except the mod area maybe, if you press front slash, it'll actually give focus to the search input. In case folks didn't know that, there's a future PR coming up, I believe, by Andrew Bone to have a modal showing all the available keyboard shortcuts. I saw at least a discussion about that. So
Mm-hmm.
just to kind of surface what folks can actually do. So using a Preact hook here, it makes for code reuse, and you can. Here's an example of using it as a not as a hook as well. We have both because there's some the entire code base isn't using function components in Preact, so we still have class-based components. So providing a keyboard shortcuts component like this as well allows us to still get it. It uses the hook under the hood, but it gives us the benefit of being able to use it in both scenarios. So thanks so much for that.
Yeah, and
Right.
just to interject one little thing before you say the next one, I posted a link. Andrew did write a post about this on Dev
Oh yeah,
today
that's right.
about
Yeah.
this one and the next contributor we'll talk about. So if you want to learn more about these PRs and kind of what they're doing, there is a post that I put it in the chat.
Yeah. So cool, cool. Check that out. And thanks again so much for these contributions, Andrew. This one here is add handler for keyboard shortcuts. Much. Let me see what the difference is with this one from the previous one. Okay, this is tests. For folks who are actually new to hooks in React or Preact, this PR has examples of how you can test a hook. So check that out. Um, so this is all the tests here. Okay, this is the actual hook here. Maybe I was mixing it up with the last one. So here's the keyboard shortcut hook. So it's a Preact hook that takes in a list of shortcuts and like what events you want to fire when you do, say, for example, what's the example they have up here? Like Control Alt Key G, not Kenny G, Key G. So it's kind of written in English, but this gets converted to in the code to be able to say this means that the person pressed Control Alt and the letter G. So you can pass in this configuration to your use keyboard shortcut hook, which is kind of nice. And then this can be reused wherever that you have Preact components. So yeah, that's cool. Awesome. Thanks a lot, Andrew. And yeah, like you said, I'll let you grab the next one here.
Okay. I want to say Robin, but you told me the correct way to say this. Say it again.
It's
Nick.
Robin's from Montreal, so his name's Robin Gagnon. So you say it's because
Robin.
I'm used to seeing it in French, so I say it in French. I mean, you
Yeah.
can say Robin. I don't think he'll take offense, but it's
If we can say it
and
right, we might as well. So thank you.
yeah,
um,
and this is a
this is a
yeah.
go ahead. This is a
No, I was
refactor again. So a keyboard shortcut. Go ahead, Nick.
no, I was just gonna make a bad joke about
Oh.
uh, names, kind of, because like Vladimir Putin, that's how you say their name in English. For some
Mm-hmm.
reason, in French, not just Quebec, but France, they call him Poutine, so Vladimir Poutine. But poutine is, for those that don't know, is like potatoes, gravy, and cheese, and it's really awesome. So, anyways, I don't know
Yeah.
why they call him poutine. So anyways, sorry for you going through the PR here, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so this is a refactor. And again, I think this one was also described in that article that I posted. So use the new keyboard shortcut hook to listen for escape key press to close and open listing modal. So this is for listings. We have a bunch of listings on Dev that you can create, or Forem in general. And this is a way to get out of that if it's open.
Cool, nice. Yeah, and that's thanks for bringing up listings, because I'm not positive, but I'm not sure if everybody's aware of them in the community still or not. I mean, they're visible on the sidebar, uh, but if you weren't aware of what they are, it's you can post things there like a conference, a job. You can even post like I'm looking for work, and
Mm-hmm.
you you can get well, you can buy credits to create them, but I think sometimes you get awarded them for like if you do
Yes.
like the top seven or something. I can't
Mm-hmm.
remember. It's been a while since I've been in the top
Yeah.
seven, so
Depending on the badges you get, sometimes you'll also get rewarded. So I've gotten it with, like, I think one of the top comments I got rewarded one time.
okay,
And for some of the other ones you get as well. Yeah.
cool. All right, this one I probably we'll check it out. I haven't really done anything in the iOS app, but we'll check it out anyways. So this is a small refactoring from Roman Podimov, I'm guessing. I'm not positive how to say your last name, Roman. Apologies. All right, so let's take a peek at this. And also, while this is opening up, uh, for folks who aren't aware, we have an iOS app and an Android app, so you can check those out. You can contribute to them, but you can also download them from their respective app stores.
And we're going to have
Okay.
Fernando, who works on this, actually come on the stream in a few weeks to talk more about it and give some more context around the mobile side of Dev. So.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for that. I know we use web views in there, so we use a lot of what's done in the front end already, but there's a lot of the mobile development that like, and I've never really done any mobile development. I don't know about yourself, Christina, but
No.
so I'm pretty psyched for that convo with Fernando. Okay, so this looks like okay, so this okay, this looks like some coercion here going on, saying cast it to a double, which is a type of number. Okay, I think it looks like maybe it's more explicit what's being done instead of the coercion with the string up here. Um, and it looks like some timing. There's like a buffer for the seeking interval.
Mm-hmm.
I guess as you're going through playlists of videos, perhaps. Uh, it's always fun to speculate. I do not know exactly. So, anyways, it reminds me of those commercials.
Fernando,
I'm not a
save him. I see you in the
yeah,
chat.
yeah,
Tell him what it is.
yeah. It's like those weird commercials a few years ago. I'm not a doctor, but I stayed at a Holiday Inn last night or something. It's like, anyways. Yeah, so that rounds it up. Thanks so much for everybody contributing. It's really appreciated, and um, keep contributing if you'd love to. Hacktoberfest is almost over, but even if Hacktoberfest is over this week, we can always accept contributions after too. So it is open source.
Yes.
Um, yeah. Anything else you want to say?
Nope. We will be having 3 more streams this week, right, Nick? I think we're doing 3 more
Yeah,
streams
yeah,
this week. Yeah.
just a few.
Tomorrow we have a stream going on with Ray's Dev, who is hosting us, and we will be talking about accessibility again, working through a PR that Nick has opened on No Mouse Fridays. And
Yep.
then we have Friday. Our walkthrough Wednesday is going to be on Friday this week, and we're going to have
Yeah.
Levi Sharp, who is the podcast producer. If you've listened to Code Newbie or Dev Discuss or lots of podcasts, he's going to be on and kind of doing an AMA there on podcasting. And then
Yeah.
we also are going to have another pair programming this week. So not exactly sure which issue we're doing yet, but we are going to do a pair programming as well.
Yeah. No, I'm excited for the one with Levi too, because I feel like during these pandemic times, a lot of people have started to streaming, myself included, and I'm sure some folks have
Yes.
started podcasting. Uh, Aside from being an awesome human being, Levi knows exactly what he's doing. He's like a pro at all this stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
ask him whatever you want about sound. I'm sure hardware. Throw whatever you want to at him in the AMA. Has that AMA gone out yet, or are we posting that in the next day or
It'll
so?
probably go out today or tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So keep out an eye for that. That's gonna be tweeted out by the dev account, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Cool. So definitely check that out. Also, don't forget to give us
I have
a
a kid
follow
trying to come
on
in.
Twitch. Is it, or is it like, mom, let me out of the closet?
Never fails. One of my children come and knock on the door.
Yeah.
We don't have
Cool, cool.
closets here. Remember, I told you this. There's no closets. I can't hide my kids
Yeah,
in the closets.
yeah. Cool, cool. All right. Well, if you're not already subscribed to our Twitch stream, I would highly recommend giving a follow to twitch.tv/thepracticaldev. You'll be notified when we go live with our streams, and the subscribe is appreciated as well. And I think that's a wrap. I'll just finish off with my arm. My arm leech is almost gone. I burnt myself on a cookie sheet a couple weeks ago. It's been healing nice. I've been putting aloe on it every day, taking care of it. So gonna kind of miss that little guy once he's gone. But nothing lasts forever. So
Yeah.
and yeah, it's okay, buddy. We had some good times. All right. Okay. Thanks everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow actually. Cool.
Yep.
All right.
Like,
Bye.